Moses finds himself in this text in a messed up situation. Here it is, he has been leading the children of Israel. He's led them out of Egypt, and he has been leading them for 40 years through the wilderness. They have seen great things happen. They have seen the hand of God in his life. They've seen God use him like they haven't seen God use anybody else. God comes down and he speaks directly to him and gives him divine revelation. And it's like, oh my God. And things are going well and they're excited and they're crying, Moses. Moses is God's man. Moses is the one that's leading us. And here they get to a serious place of conflict in the text. Somebody say conflict in the text. Conflict in the text. The people get to a point that they're out in the desert and they see it's looking like this thing ain't going nowhere. Okay, he was good a month ago, he was good a year ago, but did you see Moses today? Moses looked stuck. Did it look that way to you, Jasmine? Did you see him? He was kind of scratching his head and he leaned over to Aaron and it looked like, I was trying to read his lips. It looked like he was saying, I don't know what we're going to do about this. We never been here before. And so what happens is the people become frustrated. The people become frustrated and they start murmuring and complaining and saying things against Moses. You know how, y'all know how it is. We see things not quite going like the leader has said they should go, so we just kind of start, what do you think? Do you think it's going to work? But I don't know. It seems like we've been here before. It looked like we going around in a circle. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. And then it just kind of catches on and it just spreads from this group and from this group to that group and from this group to that group. And here Moses is. He's got thousands of people out here following him. And he's in this situation and everybody is frustrated. We have to be really, really careful when we find ourselves in this place of frustration, because this place of frustration can cause you to lose out on some of the promises of God. Simply because when you become frustrated like that, your emotions become crazy and obscured and you can't think straight and you're trying to make decisions and the decisions that you're making are not rational decisions because you just can't think straight. Anybody ever been in a situation where you just can't think straight? Oh yes. Yes, I've been there. It hadn't been that far down the road. Where I just could not think straight. I just really didn't know what to do. So here, Moses and Aaron are in the midst of this situation and they don't really know what to do. And so what they decide to do, the text says, in verse number 6, it says, then Moses and Aaron went away from the assembly. Church, sometimes you get to a point in your life where you just simply got to pull away. I know that people are pulling on you and people have questions and there are things that they need to know. But sometimes when things are chaotic and it's really not seeming like it's going to work out, you just simply got to pull away. None of us should ever be so busy that we don't have a moment to pull away. Think about Jesus and all of the great and mighty things that he did. Yet and still, he knew, I'm human and divine, and this human part of me needs some rest. This human part of me needs to pull away and pull back. One of the things we've established in our household is, hey, whenever you get to a point where you are just frustrated and just overwhelmed, whatever you need to do to pull back, pull away, you let me know and it's fine. That's our standard in our house. And it's gotten so bad that Darius will tell us, all right, y'all need to go on a vacation. Because y'all kind of, seriously, you have to set that standard for yourself that I am going to find time to be refreshed. That's why you walk by somebody and they say good morning, you go good morning. You need to get away. You need to pull back, go see a movie and relax yourself. You're frustrated. And here's our example right here in the text. Pastor Moses, one of the greatest men in the Old Testament took some time to pull away because he was in a chaotic situation. And so the text says that they pulled away and they went into the entrance of the tent of meeting. Where did they go? They went into a place where they knew they could find the presence of God. They went into a place where God has said, I'm going to meet you if you show up. I know you got a whole lot of things going on, and there's frustration in your life, and there are bills after bills that are piling up, and it seems like there's just not enough money to do what you need to do. It seems like the more you pay them, the more they pile up. I know I feel your frustration, but if you can just get up enough strength, Pastor Moses, if you can just get up enough strength, a 21st century worshiper that's gathered here in Restoration on this Lord's Day, if you could ever get up enough strength to just get up and wash your face and put your clothes on and get yourself together and say, I'm going into the tent of meetings. I'm going into the place where God has said, if I show up, he's going to meet me. I'm going into the place where God has said, if I could just get there and get in his presence, that something would happen. I'm going into the place where God is. And so God speaks a word to Moses and Aaron. And he says to them specific instructions. He says to them, take the staff and assemble the congregation together. God, for real, those people that wanted to stone me before I came up here to talk to you, you sending me back to the troll. You know, you God. You make that loud thunder, and then it caused them to say they didn't want to get in your presence. They told me to just go on. And can't you just like open the heavens and say, I am God, hear the voice of Moses. God says to him, go back to that frustration. Go back to that trouble. Go back to that dilemma. And I say to a 21st century believer that's gathered here in Restoration, go back to that situation. Yes, it feels easier to turn and walk away from it and just leave it there and say that it's going to work itself out. But can I tell you, there are some major dilemmas and problems and places of frustration that we get into. If you walk away from it, it's not going to work itself out. It's only going to magnify and get bigger and bigger and bigger. Ever been in a situation and it's so ugly and so messed up and so big, and you wonder, how in the world did I get here? It's because you didn't deal with it when it was right here. We tend to think that we can turn our backs and walk away from it, and it's just going to work out. God told Moses, no, go back. Go back to those people that you didn't want to lead anyway. Them your folk. Them your homeboys. Go back to them, God says. But I'm not going to send you empty-handed. Take a staff. And you and Aaron, go back. And God says, this is what I want you to do. Beloved, you ain't got to touch nothing. All you got to do, show up and do what I did in the beginning. See, I did it in the beginning. But now, I'm equipping you to do it. Now, I've anointed you to do it. Now, Moses in the 21st century, God is saying, all I want you to do is show up and command a blessing over your own life. I want you to get up and go to work in the morning, and when you walk in there and you feel those negative vibes, Moses, I want you to open your mouth and begin to decree and declare the word of God and take kingdom dominion over the territory that I have given you. Moses, just like I spoke in the beginning, I want you to show up and speak over your own frustrated and messed up situation. Yeah. How many of us do that? How many of us show up in that situation and speak what God said as opposed to what we see? Something really serious and tragic happens. Moses and Aaron hook up. You know how you go to a revival service and you all fired up, and it's like, the kingdom suffered violence, but the violent take it by force. I'm going to take this thing. I'm getting ready to take the authority that God has given me. Oh, I felt something happen down on the inside of me, and I'm getting ready to take it, Minister Demond. I feel it. Can you feel it? It's just like fire shut up in my bones, and I'm going to go back to this messed up, frustrated situation, and I'm going to set foot in there, and I'm going to allow the power of God. God told me all I needed to do was go back and stand there and open my mouth, and when I opened my mouth, he was going to back up what I said. So I feel the fire. Anybody feel the fire? I feel the fire. Moses goes back. Him and Aaron. And the text says that Moses gets it all wrong. Somebody say, oh no. The text says that Moses gets it all wrong. Moses took the staff as the Lord had commanded him. They gathered all the people together. And as soon as everybody got together, he heard them before they got there. The rumbling, the noise, and the complaining, the same thing that he left was waiting on him when he got back, except it had intensified a little bit. Wow. So Moses gets in the midst of the congregation, and he's looking, and he's like, you know what? What will it take for you? When will you get it? When are you really going to understand that you are the beloved of God, that you are chosen by God, and that God is on your side, and there's no way that God would lead you out here in this desert place and not make provision for you? God has promised that he's going to make provision. Y'all stupid. I don't get it. I don't get it. This is where he is. I don't get it. That is, in the 21st century, we would say, that's messed up. That's messed up. I don't understand what in the world is wrong with you. Time and time again, you have seen the provision of God, but still you don't get it, Israel. That's the problem. It's a problem for me. And then y'all standing there looking at me like I'm stupid, like I really never even heard from God in the first place. Looking at me like I don't know what I'm doing. And then I heard, my people have been reporting back to me some of the stuff y'all said. Come on. What's the deal? Y'all know who I am. I've been tried and proven. I was raised in Egypt with y'all. And God took me out and brought me back to bring y'all out. And here we are together. We're supposed to be a family. We're supposed to be loving each other and supporting each other. And here we are frustrated. Everybody, you know what? I'm frustrated too. I know I'm the leader. And I'm not supposed to show it, but I'm frustrated too. And why am I frustrated? Because y'all are frustrated, and y'all are frustrating me. This is how he felt. Any leader in here ever felt like that?